Hey, let's talk about edging for younger people, and let's be a little realistic. You know, I mean, if you're in your early 20s, how are you going to not enjoy female attraction? Or if you're a teenager, there's teens too that watch these videos. I like that. I wonder if I was a teen if I'd be watching this. I don't know about that. So you guys are on higher, older souls. It's good. You want to clean all this up now and then be in the height of yourself and your full self so you can experience what that feels like before the body dies, which is the main point. This is why we're here. To experience the fullest version of ourselves while we're embodied or locked in this human form with all these tendencies and distractions and habits and all that. We're here to transcend that. We're not here to make $1 million. If we can make $1 million in the process, okay, whatever. But anyway. So if you're a teen or you're in your early 20s, is it realistic? Can you actually stop edging? Can you stop having sexual fantasy thoughts and stop trying to get hits of validation from women and not like when a woman gives you female attention and attraction? Can you just be like, you got to taste that stage. I mean, there's exceptions. It's rare. Somebody could be asexual, which means they came to this planet with no interest at all in sex. I feel, and it wasn't due because abuse or suppression. It's like it's not there. I was that way with getting married or having children. It's just not that material isn't downloaded. I don't have it. So, I mean, maybe some of these people you've been totally satiated in previous lives with all this sexual experience and everything. So you come here and this time and then just something's not interested. I met a couple people like that, and they exist. So that's one way. The other way is if you were like Cherie Day Yamada, when she met Yogananda when she was 15. She saw him speaking, I think, in Seattle. And she from the beginning, and the same with Yogananda, they had a deep calling to realize their spiritual nature or God nature. And that just took up all their attention. They weren't trying. It's not like they had a tendency to go indulge in some, the sexual instinct or some material tendency, to make a bunch of money, or they're really focused on that, but they say, no, I don't want to focus on sex or business. I want to focus on God. It was no choice. It was no decision to make. They had this inner calling from the beginning. So there's people like that too. I met a couple at an ashram. You can meet those people at an ashram, but still, usually you don't. At an ashram, usually you meet some people who are super sexually repressed because they're like some of these priests, who take vows when they're not ready to just, I'm going to be celibate. This isn't a choice. You understand? Like you can't, this is not a mental choice to be free, especially of edging, even semen retention. I mean, if you're a real addict, some of us are prone to being addicted to certain things more than others. So those people are also going to have a harder time practicing semen retention, and particularly edging. And some people are dopamine addicts, the real edgers. And then some people aren't. Maybe they're food addicts. And so then the food addicts can't understand, like, man, just chill with the sex. Just who cares? And the dopamine addict or the porn and masturbation addicts, like, well, chill with the food, man. Why you eat, So we have all this different karma, and there's many factors involved. And so we got to have some compassion and understanding. So you got to understand about this. Like we don't all have the same mental wiring or the same karma. We don't have the same propensities and tendencies towards certain things. It's different, we're all different. So if you're in your early 20s, can you really be free of edging? See, I would focus more on semen retention. See, the fact that you're already watching these videos means that you probably have a little bit of an addictive nature and propensity toward getting dopamine hits or PMO and all that stuff, and edging. So, to just stop You can't do that. It's like if you're eating a candy bar every day and you want to just stop doing that, okay, that's easy. You just stop. But this stuff, this is hardwired into the hard drive. This karma is deep. What are you going to do? You can't just stop, because people get frustrated. They write me and they're beating themselves up because intellectually they know. See, that's the thing. Just because this makes sense to you logically or intellectually that you shouldn't be doing these things, doesn't mean you have the power to stop doing them. You got to understand, and that's where you can be a little bit compassionate and empathetic with yourself. Then the mind will say, oh, but if you're too compassionate with yourself, you're just going to keep indulging in it. No, just go and see. There's got to be a balance. You got to be you're trying to be free, but at the same time, you understand the level that we're dealing with here. You got to have both. That's wisdom. So, if you're in your early 20s and you want to really start on something, focus on the semen retention. Don't watch porn. Don't masturbate excessively. When it comes to edging, you got to be conscious. You got to check yourself. This will cause the transcendence and transformation of to transcend edging. You just keep being aware, keep checking in, keep doing inventory of yourself, not in an obsessive, shameful way, like, oh, I looked at a girl again because I wanted her to give me attention. It wasn't authentic. Damn it, why'd I do that again? No, it's not like that. You just pay attention to what you're doing. And we all have faults. We're in this human machine. God knows, man. He put us in here, and He knows it's challenging and difficult. It's not like the higher planes. That's why you hear sometimes this saying, the gods are jealous of the beings who are in this human form, because we signed up for the real deal. This is like special forces stuff, to be duped into 3 layers of delusion: physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, and then to transcend all that. It's possible. It's not only possible, it's destiny. It's just a question of when. I got to get into that in my spiritual channel, though. So you chill out, you pay attention. You pay attention when you're edging. And you start somewhere. You start with the semen retention. When that starts to get more stronger, automatically you're going to start wanting to chill with the edging, which is getting the dopamine hits and the sexual fantasy thoughts, and you can say the inauthentic motive to look at girls to try to get them to give you attention and get a dopamine hit. You start paying attention to that. You start realizing what your motives are. You catch yourself out. It becomes fun. You're growing. You're transcending. You don't do all this in one shot. It's impossible. You wouldn't be able to handle it. So you keep paying attention. Okay, I'm out in the street. I'm looking at a girl. She's younger. She looks attractive. I can feel in my heart, though, I'm not really... It's like, what level are you attracted, though? Is it something inside that's like, wow, I feel some unity with this girl for some reason. There's some karmic connection there. Maybe I should talk to her and see. Is it that? That's more authentic. Or is it like, well, she looks hot, so if she looks at me and smiles, maybe that means I'm something. Hot girl looked at me, gives me a boost of self-esteem. You start to discern what your motives are. That's the first step. You just pay attention. That's a big step, though. Most people they can't do it. It's unconscious. They're just functioning in a mechanical way. Yeah, if you're with your friend and he's looking at a girl or something, ask him, say, what's your motives right now? Why are you looking at the girl? He's just going to think you're stupid, So you start there. You start with this self-analysis. You start checking yourself. And then let the process happen. The transformation and transcendence is going to happen automatically at some point. It's a question of time. But focus more on just your semen retention practice, because you can do that. A younger person can do that. You can be free of PMO. We can. If you need some support or something, you get with a group of people who are doing the same thing. That should be your people you hang with anyway. Why would you hang with people who aren't doing what you're doing? It doesn't make any sense. There's a compromise there. And then that causes stress, and that'll make you indulge in these habits more. You can go to fellowship, Zoom meetings, on the internet, and be around a whole group of fellowship. You don't even have to turn the camera on. Just leave it off and listen and be in this similar frequency. This gives you power. Power's the thing. But we can't get the power until we're truly ready to transcend this. But that's the next video, I think. Hitting bottom. Hitting bottom's how you transcend it. All right. Have a good day.